Carly here with another cooking video. Today I am going to make some breakfast hash, or just hash. You don't have to eat it for breakfast. You can eat it anytime. I'm going to walk you through all the steps of making it. So here we go. All right, this part is, I'm just going to show you how to cut a potato really quickly. I've cut everything else up, but I'm going to switch this down so you can kind of have a top view of everything. I'm really rigging everything up here in my apartment. My phone is on a skewer that's through my handles on my cabinets. So hopefully it doesn't fall. Here we go. All right, I think that works. All right, so I've already peeled this potato. What I'm gonna do is potatoes can roll around, so you wanna create a flat surface so that it doesn't do that. So you're gonna cut one side. I'm gonna cut some stuff off there. Now you have something, it's way more sturdy like that. You're gonna square off the rest of the potato, just kind of make it however that squares off. As you do that, you get another nice flat side, and then just go all the way around the potato until you've squared the entire thing off. And then I also just like to cut these sides here, square that off a little bit. All right, so what you're basically gonna do is take whatever side you feel is gonna make the most even cuts. You're gonna make some planks. So you're gonna go like this. You don't wanna make them too thin. So you think about the size of the dice that you want. Now, I guess I probably picked the wrong side. It's a little bit wobbly, so I'm just gonna hold a claw grip here, or a tunnel grip rather. Do that last one. And now I have, well, I'm gonna cut this one all the way through. So now I have all these planks here. So don't be a hero and pile them all on top of each other. I would say you could do maybe two on top of each other, ones that are similar sized, like these. And then what you're gonna do is make kind of long, skinnier cuts like this. I would do it in three. And then you're gonna turn that entire thing around and make dice from that. And then just do the same with your other planks here. You can do one by one if you want. And then same with this. And again, you actually don't have to use, I'm using russet potatoes. You can use sweet potatoes, you can use yams. If you use something like a sweet potato, it doesn't take as long to cook, so I would say you don't have to parboil it that much. These are super starchy and take a little bit to get soft. So you want them to a point where you can stick like a knife in there, but not till they're totally done. So that's how you do that. I also ahead of time cut up some red onion in the same size dice. I minced some garlic, and I also did some carrot. And I am now gonna parboil the potatoes, which I don't need to show you guys throwing it in boiling water. I'll just come back when I have those done and show you how to assemble the hash. All right, now that we have all the ingredients ready, I actually also roasted a red pepper and cut that up. I'm not gonna show you how to do that, but there is a good instructional video on the Brooklyn Kitchen YouTube if you wanna go check that out. Roasting your own red peppers is super easy and super delicious. You could use raw red pepper in this hash, but you would need to account for extra cooking time. And I don't know, I figured it would be nice to add a nice roasty flavor in there. So here we go. I'm gonna try to put my phone on this contraption down here, and I hope it doesn't fall. All right, I think you guys can see my pan now. I don't know. All right, let's hope this doesn't fall. So it's best to do this in a cast iron. It's just a nice way to keep the heat continual here. You're gonna have fewer hot spots, stuff like that. And so wait for it to get a little warm. I actually preheated this a little bit just so it wouldn't take so long. And I'm gonna use a little bit of, I always render bacon fat. I have a little thing of it in my fridge. Just gonna put that in there a little bit. And then I'll probably need a little bit more, so I'm gonna put just a little bit of canola oil in there. So you just kinda wanna swirl this around the pan, just make sure the bottom is evenly coated. And then, let's see. Okay, so once that gets heated up, you're gonna cook stuff in order of how long it takes to cook. So I would say if I have some onions and I have some carrots, those are gonna be the first two things to go in there. Probably the carrots a little bit ahead of the onions. So I'm gonna do that. All right, so I'm gonna wait for these carrots, and then, all right, gotta add the onions now because the carrots have been cooking for a little bit. Just add those onions. I haven't salted anything yet, but you do want to salt as you go. And take a pinch. Again, a pinch is using 3 fingers and your thumb. Pick that up. Do it from above. Salt everything up here. And then I just kind of mix it just so all the salt gets around everything, but then I like to leave it just so that it gets some good color in there. Just kind of shake the pan so that stuff is laying in a single layer here. So I'm gonna get this cooked a little bit more. The next thing that I'll probably put in is the roasted red peppers. And then I'm gonna tell you guys about the spices that I'm using. So, oh, and the, can't forget about the potatoes. So, yeah, potatoes next. All right, once your onions, you can see, have become a tiny bit translucent, give them a little stir. There's some browning happening there. And now I'm going to add the potatoes, parboiled potatoes I did. I'm going to pour those in here. Stir everything up together. Again, potatoes need a lot of salt. I don't know if you guys have ever realized that. That's why there's so much salt on French fries. But potatoes are very bland by nature, so I would take this opportunity again to do some salt. And I know it seems like we're using a lot of salt, but it's needed for a dish like this. Now at this point, I kind of feel like my pan is a tiny bit dry. I don't love adding oil after the fact, but it looks like I didn't add enough, so I'm just gonna put maybe a little bacon fat over here. And just give a little coat to everything. So what I want to do to develop some color on this stuff is just let it sit. Just get it in as much of a single layer as you can. And just like when you're searing a steak or something, don't touch it for a little bit. So I'm going to let that sit there for a sec and come back and add some more stuff. All right. So it's starting to cook down a little bit. I don't know if you can see this, but you can see some browning on everything. I'm gonna mix it around now. I wanna make sure that it doesn't burn, but I also wanna create some brownness on there. I like to keep this squished down, just in like a single layer like that. So what I'm gonna add now is I'm going to put the roasted red pepper in there, which is I said I did earlier. I roasted that all by myself. It's gonna add a nice little charred flavor to this. Like I don't want to move this around incredibly a lot. So basically the only things we have left now are, I have some garlic to add, but you don't want to add that too soon because you don't want the garlic to burn. So I want to make sure that I'm pretty close to being done. Another thing is you want to add your spices before you're done because you want to toast them a little, but you also don't want to burn those either. So I'm going to give this a little bit for it to brown a little bit more, and then I'm going to start adding everything else. And actually I'm going to add a tiny bit more oil because it seems a little dry in here. add my spices. I kind of went with, I guess, sort of a Middle Eastern flavor. You don't have to. You can use fresh herbs. You can use some thyme, some salt and pepper, stuff like that. And whatever seasoning you like, honestly. You could use oregano. But I'm kind of, I guess, doing sort of Middle Eastern. I've got right here, if you can see my spices, I've got cumin, I've got coriander, I have Aleppo, and I also have some sumac. So those are sort of a flavor family that goes together, and I really like these flavors. So what you want to do, I'm going to mix it up first in case I don't want to use all of it. I'm going to pour it over. And then what I want to do, I think that's probably enough. I might do a little. All right, so I would do that, and then I'm just gonna like, I don't want to mix this super like heavy-handed. I kind of want to just like fold it over onto itself because the potatoes now are getting a little bit softer, and you don't want them to turn to mush. And so this is what you're doing. You're toasting your spices, so it allows the spices to kind of open up and bloom a little bit, and not taste like, I don't know if you ever tasted spices that are put on right before something's served, but it kind of tastes a little raw. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm also going to put in my garlic at this point because we're almost ready. And then, I don't know, I kind of want almost a tiny bit more bacon fat on this. Just going to throw it on there for when I mix everything up. And as you can see now, stuff's starting to get a little smoky here. So I'm just gonna, again, like try to be gentle with this and kind of fold it over and not be aggressively stirring. And then I basically cook it until the garlic is done. And if you want to be fancy, or not fancy, it's delicious. I kind of cooked this in a bigger cast iron than I needed to. I have a smaller one, and it would have been nicer. It would have been like more compact and a little bit thicker. You can create like a little divot, put an egg in it, throw in the oven, or if you have a lid, you can put it on there. So you have like a nice egg in there that you can cut open, and it kind of goes through the hash. I'm not going to do that right now because I don't really have a divot. I'm just going to make my own egg and put it on top of there. So, yeah, I mean, this is pretty much done. You can char it or make it as brown as you like. I'm okay with the garlic being not completely cooked because I don't want to burn it, and I'm okay with a little bit of raw garlic flavor. What I could do, if I don't like to chomp on raw garlic flavor, I could have made like a garlic paste, and then that would be something that would like mellow out the flavor. You could use roasted garlic, something like that. So I'm pretty much gonna call this done, and then I'm just gonna put it on a plate. And then I'm gonna top it with some scallion and cilantro, so I'll show you that in a second. Okay, this is my final product here. You can just top with cilantro and some scallions, some parsley, kind of anything you want to do. And then, yeah, and then put an egg on it and eat it. I just wanted to add a couple more things that I didn't mention, or I didn't mention it as I was going along. A few things, as far as potatoes, if you want to prep them in advance, you can do that. Just put them, I'll kind of show you. Sorry, I'm selfie sticking it. Not really, it's a spatula. Just put potatoes in a little container and cover them with water. It keeps them from oxidizing. So if you like wanted to make stuff in advance, prep as much as you can in advance, you can do that. Make sure that you salt the water that you are parboiling the potatoes in, because it'll just help flavor everything a little bit more. Let's see. As far as things to use, you can add in, again, if you have leftover corned beef from St. Patrick's Day, throw that in there, corned beef hash. You could use leeks, you could use parsnips, turnip, you can use all kinds of root vegetables. Maybe even if you roasted some beets. I've never done that before, but you could probably certainly try to do that. It's whatever you have in your house, and also whatever flavors you like together. That's pretty much it. And again, like I said, you could top with an egg. You can cook the egg in there, throw it in the oven, throw a lid on, whatever, and season it however you want. And yeah, hopefully this is helpful, and it'll help you get rid of some of the stuff in your fridge that you don't know what to do with. So, oh, and also if you made some sort of, I don't know, if you made some sort of pesto or chimichurri or something, that'd be really nice on top of here. If you have like herbs that are, I don't know, if you can see my huge thing of cilantro there that I've been trying to try to make it last for days and days. It's going pretty well, but I know there's going to be an end in sight. So anyway, if you have any questions, let me know, but hopefully now you know how to make some breakfast hash. Bye.